Jesse Ross was a 19-year-old college student that was visiting Chicago from the University of Missouri in Kansas City in 2006 in November. Jesse came here with other college students and was staying at the Chicago Sheraton Hotel and Towers for a 4-day Mock United Nations conference. On November 20th, 2006, Jesse attended the regular session of the United Nations Council during the day at the hotel. And after that, they were excused for a while, and he went out to eat dinner with some of his friends. And later on that evening, he was called back to the emergency council session, which met at approximately midnight or sometime thereabout, going into the early morning hours of November 21st, 2006. That conference took him to about 2 o'clock in the morning, sometime between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the morning. This is when he got up and walked out of that conference room and has been unaccounted for since that time. The conference was being held at the Sheraton Chicago Hotel and Towers, and Jesse was staying at the 4 Points Sheraton, which was approximately a 10-minute walk. He never made it back to his hotel room where he was staying.
He had been gone for 4 days for this Model UN convention in Chicago. On that 4th day, he was supposed to call home and let us know when he would be leaving to come home. I worked nights at the time, so I came home and I was sleeping, and my wife was at work. She worked at a local school. So the phone rang and I answered it, and I thought it might be Jesse, but it was one of his sponsors from his school. And he advised me that they weren't sure where Jesse was, that they hadn't seen him and were unable to locate him at the time, and that they would give us more information. And kind of at that point I was kind of in shock. So then they told me that they were having to organize the other young people, get them all together and get them back home, and one of them would be coming home and would be coming to see us to bring Jesse's things and to try to give us some information. And then the other sponsor, he would be staying there at the police station coordinating with them. I called my wife at work and I told her she needed to come home, that they weren't quite sure. I tried not to, over the phone, I didn't want to make it too serious, so I said they weren't sure where Jesse was and she needed to come home. So I got up and I just kind of wandered around a little bit. I went outside and Jesse's car was parked in the driveway, and I just kind of looked at it, and there was the usual papers and drink cups and stuff thrown all over, and coats and even socks and things all over the car. So I got in his car and I started straightening it up, and I thought, well, I will straighten his car up, clean it up and everything for when he gets here, and tried to be positive about it.
It was towards the end of my school day, and the phone rang, and he told me he had gotten a phone call and that they weren't sure where Jesse was. Well, okay, and the way I like to handle things is if I can keep it together on the outside, that helps the inside. So I told my boss, I said, I need to leave early. And then I told him why, and so, they said, Donna, go home. And so I went home, and I think Don, I think we're really in shock for quite a while, because it's like, this can't be, this is unreal. They didn't report it right away, because kids, you put college kids in Chicago, and there were little hospitality rooms going on, and kids go and party in another room and get tired, so they'll just crash out in somebody else's room. Very feasible to me, and they kept thinking, well, he'll show up for the closing. He'll show up, and he didn't, and nobody knew. And so I think we were just really in shock. You cannot imagine getting that phone call. You don't know where they are. And especially we live down by Kansas City. You're 9 hours away. You don't know Chicago. You don't have a clue. Where do you look? So you just wait. It's very creepy, very, very unsettling. You just, you don't know what to do.